It's her fault we're late. Signing autographs. So
Apologies.
yeah, really good win for us. And obviously, when you play an SEC opponent, especially one like Auburn, who really thrives on the defensive end, and they try to muddy the game up and pressuring you full court, the whole game. I thought Georgia did a phenomenal job of handling the pressure, getting us into what we needed to get into. We still, we need to rebound the ball a little bit better, but we got in foul trouble, so we were kind of mixing and matching. Really couldn't get into a full rhythm in the second half. But, again, that's a really good win for us. Heading into the bye, much needed rest that we'll be able to get. But we got great production, Georgia, and I thought Deja Law was tremendous, hit some really big shots. Tiani Key was really good. Really good for us. We're leaving some pressure, getting some baskets going to the hole. And I thought Clara Strack performed very well on Clara Strack Day.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, you need to know, all right, because Clara Strack Day is really big around our program, and we celebrate it like we do Christmas. So you guys got to get on board with that. But it was special. It was really fun. Good win for us, and we'll take it. And we'll use this week much needed rest, but also some much needed practice time. We haven't had a whole lot of practice time in the last couple weeks, so we get some practice time during this bye week.
We'll start with Phoenix, then Caroline.
He joked about how y'all were late because you're signing autographs. But, even though you're only going to be here for 1 year, just how great is it to come from Virginia Tech and then to Kentucky and have this fan base kind of embrace you?
Yeah, it's been great so far. I think our first couple of games, some people showed up and there was kind of excitement around the program, but I think, we've been doing our job in getting some really, really good, solid wins and starting SEC playoff. We can be picky and point out the little things we did bad, but to have consecutive games of pretty much nearly 20-point wins is phenomenal for SEC play, considering, someone like Auburn played LSU last week and they only won by 10, so I think we're putting on a show. We're trying to get people to come and support us because, to be successful and to play in a home environment, which come February for us is so important that we have a good environment because we have a really, really great stretch. So if we keep building towards that, then a good home crowd can make a great team brilliant.
Coach, you touched a little bit on rebounding in the opening statement. What do you attribute today's, kind of uncharacteristic play to, and how do you remedy that against more physical teams?
I don't think there is a more physical team than Auburn. I really don't. And there may be some more talented teams, and obviously Johnny's doing a really good job handling her situation with a couple kids out. But the physicality part, they didn't lose any of those kids, and so. We talked about it, and we know we need to clean it up. We need to rebound the ball a little bit better. I think it starts with staying out of foul trouble, because when you get in foul trouble, then Clara Strack is sitting for most of the third quarter, and then Tiani had to sit some of the third quarter. You're going to lose some of that prowess to go out and to rebound the basketball. But we also talked about we haven't rebounded the ball as well as we wanted to, but we still won by 19. We won at Vanderbilt by 18 when we didn't rebound the basketball as well as we wanted to. So we're capable. We just really need to make sure, number one, they're on the floor, and number two, it's a mindset. It's a mindset with an understanding. Okay, this is the kind of game it's going to be, and we got to go out and join that game.
Josh, Tanya, Brad.
This one's for both of you. This is the fourth straight game where Georgia's taken 17 or more shots in a game. Now the conference play is in full swing. Is the plan to continue to lean on her more offensively?
That was a plan all along. She's a facilitator by nature. I've said that a lot, and so and understandably so. She really was learning her teammates and getting her teammates along. We had people who had never played in that role before. Deja Lawrence was a scorer. All right, so Deja was going to find her way, but Tiani Key's never been a scorer in the college level. Clara Strack hasn't been a scorer at this level. Amelia Hassett hasn't been a scorer on this level. So she was doing a great job of facilitating and getting an understanding for her team. Got confidence in them. They got confidence in her. We've had a conversation about, hey, yeah, you need to be a little bit more aggressive, but we never put a number on it. I never say you need to get 18 shots. You need to get 20 shots. It's just be a little bit more aggressive. And then tonight she even said, hey, let's run that play again. I'm not being aggressive enough. I think I can attack it and look to either create for myself or for others. So she's doing it organically, and that's why we really wanted it. And I think it really comes natural for her to be able to score because she's such a hard guard.
Coach, you guys had 18 fast breaks. guys have worked on more in practice, or she's just getting more comfortable with stuff?
Yeah, Coach Mercer's gotten really smart here about the last month and a half, and rightfully so. I can't be too hard on myself, but we had to form some chemistry. So we had to really run our sets. We had to learn how to run our sets, the tempo, the spacing, and getting it. We had to learn why you moved in a certain place. So every day in practice, she was like a Ferrari in a neighborhood. All right, you're just revving up, wanting to go, go, go. But I was slowing it down. Hey, let's run this play. Let's run that play. Let's run this play. And probably about a month and a half ago, I just swallowed my whistle, and they would get a rebound in practice, and I would just let them go, and let them go, and let them go. And I think we had a player, Taylor Soule, when we went to the Final Four, who was just a freak athlete who would just run the floor, and she loved it. She would kick it up, and she would find them in transition, and then she saw the same thing in Tiani very early. And so now letting them go, our fast break is a really thing of beauty because she's driving the car and she's either kicking up ahead for a easy layup or she'll scoop it around for a three-point shot. And allowing them to do that, is part of our offense. And we may not be the fastest, but we're pretty clever when we get out on transition and get some really good shots.
Coach, so you was talking about the bye week. You've got 2 road trips coming up in the SEC. What's the strategy?
Man, I'm just worried about the bye week. I want to enjoy the bye week. You know what? We've shown that we can play well on the road, and then obviously when you get down there, and it starts with my staff. They do a tremendous job, making the travel smooth and getting to our situations, getting into the gym the night before, and just have a different focus. And one of the things we've been really proud of is that we've had a great contingency of Big Blue Nation. We went to Florida, and it was about 50-50. It was about 50-50, and we went to Vanderbilt, and it was, there was a lot of people there. They even gave her a trophy after the game, the Alumni Association, right? So they're getting on board. We went to Vanderbilt, Purdue. A lot of people, walking in with Kentucky jerseys on. So that helps a lot. It really does. It helps a lot, and hopefully we'll continue to grow the fan base to where it can help us. But just making it business-like, as we go on the road, because we know everything is going to be tough on the road.
John, and then Phoenix, Caroline.
Coach Georgia, after the Florida game, said that you all practice those passing lines and those defensive sets over and over and over. So now that you're pushing those points in practice, how is that translated into the game? What are you seeing?
A lot of the things that they do, we've given them philosophy and what we wanted to do, but we've also allowed them to create their own chemistry. We'll talk about a play and how we want to defend it, or we can even talk about an offensive play, and I will see them huddled up and talking amongst themselves, and I'll let it go. I'll let it go and let them talk, let them figure it out, because I'm never on the floor. I can give them direction, but they're the ones who have to go out and execute it. And if they're on the same page and they have an understanding for each other, it's going to be much more a collective unit. So it's been fun watching them grow into that. They've morphed into this well-oiled machine. You can see them talking to each other, and they came up with a plan today, and they talked about it, and they came up with a plan today, and I just let them talk, and they were talking amongst themselves about how to defend the play, and I asked them what they were talking about, and they told me, and I was like, oh, I like that better than what we were talking about. So we allowed them to do it, and this is a very smart team. They're very smart, and they understand each other. They understand the basketball game, and now they're getting to have that chemistry grow and grow and grow.
Kenny, I didn't realize how much pressure was on you today. Not only is it Claire Strack Day, but I understand your mom.
She is,
here.
yeah. There's my mom right in the back. First time in Lexington, yeah. So.
How important was it for you to be on your best behavior?
She's seen me coach a lot. My demeanor is because of her. She did a tremendous job of raising me and my brother and my sister. Allowing me to do a lot of things, working a couple jobs so that I could, go play on the AAU team, or, working a couple jobs so that I could have the same shoes that somebody else had. And so now she gets to come here and reap some of the benefits. And she's going to love Lexington. She's going to love Lexington because the way that Big Blue Nation embraces, the program, anything UK athletics, she's gonna love it. So I think she's gonna stay. I'm hoping. I got my cousin here too, Chris Lassiter. He does writing for a lot of our local papers back home. So I got to thank him for bringing my mom here. So I think I got to give him something to eat tonight. Hopefully he'll write some good stuff about us. But no, it's everything that I've ever done is all about family. You know, whether it's my team, my kids, my biological kids, or incorporating my whole family into what we do. Because there's so many people who have sacrificed and allowed me to do what I wanted to do. And you know, coming from a small town in Waynesboro, Virginia, there wasn't a whole lot of people doing the things that I'm doing now. And a lot of encouragement from people back home, that means a lot to me.
Coach, on the final SEC ability report, Gabby was listed as out.
Yeah.
What's her status looking like right now?
She's at home. She's sick, so in true fashion, as a coach's daughter, she called me at 1 o'clock in the morning, told me she was sick. I think they had a fire alarm.
We had 2 evacuations last night in our
fire
apartment
alarms.
complex.
Yeah. So I'm scrambling around. She told me she was sick, and in true fashion, as a coach's daughter, she says, "Dad, I don't think I should come around today because I don't want to get anybody sick." So I'm like, "Okay, don't get anybody sick." And so I checked on her all day, and she's okay, but I know she wanted to be here.
Georgia, will you speak to handling the pressure in a game this physical and what you saw from Sanaya and Cassie?
Yeah, I mean, it's first of all my main duty to control the tempo of the game and relieve a lot of the pressure. And I think just generally watching the basketball and SEC conference, you know, it's the defense is tough, you know. You don't really know what looks you're going to get or what teams are going to throw at you. And I think we've talked about it. We're unsure what those teams are even going to do just for me. So I think doing a much better job personally than I have in years prior of not getting sped up. And I think teams like this, where they try and muddy the game, as Coach said, it's just, you know, we could do whatever defensively, and I know that we have a lot to build off of defensively, but offense, I think we controlled that. I don't really think, you know, aside from them kind of getting up in the passing lanes and kind of pushing us out of our movement sets, we still had a great scoring opportunities when we got downhill, attacked. We had people like Tiani and Clara making great passes. So the team that has great bigs that can pass like that, like it's very hard to stop. And I think we're getting used to sharing the ball so well. You look at us and we have the one more passes, and we're just getting a lot more smarter with, you know, who's free, because the way that teams play us right now, one person is going to be pretty wide open. So I think, you know, we're doing such a great job at not letting teams necessarily speed us up too much.
Final question, everyone.
Coach, Deja had 18 of her 21 points in the second half. Was that a locker room adjustment, or did she just kind of find a rhythm?
No, she found a rhythm. She had some shots early on that she normally has a chance to make that she didn't knock them down. But she had a fire. I think they cut it to 6, and she went on a little 5-0 run by herself. And it wasn't just the shots; it was the energy. You know, the energy, and she was like, you know, she got me pumped up. She said, "Come on, let's go." And I'm like, "All right, I'm ready." You know, so but that's what she brings. You know, she brings that experience. You know, you can't substitute for experience. And she stepped up and knocked down some big shots for us. And, you know, her leadership is really resonating through, you know, this group. And everyone is really, everyone trusts her. But, you know, she steps up and knocks some big shots for us. I was happy for her. She's played exceptionally well throughout the SEC conference play.
Thanks, y'all. We'll be back home on the 26th.
Happy Clara Strack Day.